The map that didn't move. Dad, did you know the North Pole is its own country? My son, Leo, asked while scrolling through a digital map for his fifth grade social studies homework. I paused, mid-dishwashing. The North Pole? No, Leo, it's mostly shifting ice in international waters. There's no land there, let alone a country. But Mr. Henderson said it's a sovereign icy territory, and we have to color it purple on our map because it's not part of any continent, Leo insisted. He showed me his worksheet. It was a photocopied map from what looked like the late 80s, and sure enough, there was a giant, solid landmass sitting at the top of the world. The classroom confrontation. I happen to be a geospatial analyst. I literally map the Earth for a living using satellites. I figured Mr. Henderson, a guy who had been teaching at that school since the Reagan administration, just had an old map. I sent a polite note in Leo's folder. Hi, Mr. Henderson. Leo was a bit confused about the Arctic. Just a heads up that the North Pole isn't a landmass or a country. Happy to send over some high-res satellite imagery if the kids want to see what it actually looks like. The note came back the next day with a single sentence in red ink. I teach from the approved district materials. Please do not confuse the student. The sovereign pop quiz. The following Friday, Leo came home looking defeated. He'd gotten a C- on his global boundaries quiz. Question 4. List the continent the North Pole sits on. Leo's answer, none. It's floating ice. Marked, wrong. Correct answer, the northern polar continent. I felt my blood pressure spike. There is no such thing as a northern polar continent. This wasn't just an old textbook. This was a teacher refusing to acknowledge 40 years of geographic discovery. The board meeting maneuver. I didn't go to Mr. Henderson. I knew from Leo's stories that the man viewed his classroom as his private kingdom. Instead, I waited for the district open house. When it was time for the parent Q&A in the auditorium, I stood up. I have a question about our commitment to 21st century literacy. My son was recently penalized for stating that the North Pole isn't a continent. Mr. Henderson, sitting in the front row, turned around, his face flushing. That is the curriculum standard for this building, he barked. We focus on the foundations. The foundation you're teaching is a geographical myth. I opened my laptop and projected a live NASA satellite feed onto the big screen behind the podium. This is the Earth, right now. As you can see, there is no purple country at the top. There is water and seasonal ice. The room went silent. The principal, Mrs. Gable, looked at the screen, then at Mr. Henderson's trembling hands, then back at me. It's just a simplified model for children, Mr. Henderson shouted, losing his cool in front of 100 parents. You're undermining the structure of the classroom. I'm not undermining your structure. I'm updating your map. If we teach kids that facts are just whatever the teacher says, we aren't raising students, we're raising followers. The result? Principal Gable ordered a full audit of the social studies materials that week. The northern polar continent was officially retired from the school's curriculum. Leo's grade was retroactively changed to an A. Now, every time Leo brings home a worksheet, he looks at me and grins. Hey, Dad, should I answer this with the Henderson version or the real-world version? I always tell him the same thing. Write the truth. I'll handle the red ink.